Look at the sheer scale of Indian esports today. Millions of concurrent viewers, stadium-sized events, and a roster of household names. Creators like Mortal, Scout, and Thug, drawing crowds that rival traditional sports stars. But behind the flashing lights and the players on stage, there is someone else making the machine run. A man standing just out of frame, quietly engineering the ecosystem that keeps these creators in business. Lokesh Goldy Jain. To understand what Goldy actually built, we have to look back at where he started. He grew up in a typical middle-class home, navigating a society that viewed video games as a distraction, a dead-end hobby with no real future. The arrival of cheap data and accessible smartphones moved competitive play out of the cybercafes and directly into the streets. Anyone with a mobile signal could now broadcast their gameplay to a live audience of millions. This created a very specific problem. Teenagers were racking up massive viewership numbers overnight, capturing fleeting viral fame. But there were no contracts, no management agencies, and no structures to help them turn 15 minutes of internet buzz into a reliable career. Having fast reflexes and an entertaining live stream simply wasn't enough to sustain an entire industry. The Indian gaming space required a structural visionary who could build a permanent, functional ecosystem from scratch. Goldy recognized a key dynamic in how audiences consumed gaming content. Viewers might click on a stream to watch high-level gameplay, but they return every day for the player's personality. Traditional esports operate like corporate entities focused strictly on tournament wins. Goldy rejected this for S8UL, instead mapping out a dynamic ecosystem. He brought creators under one roof. Living and collaborating side by side, engineered an authentic, highly visible chemistry. Fans started logging in for the collective history of the group. Cohabiting and collaborating as a single unit meant that if one game died off, the audience stayed for the people they'd spent years getting to know. By shifting the core product from digital skill to human connection, Goldy created a legacy brand. Fans followed S8UL for the people involved, insulating the business from the volatility of individual game titles. That emotional connection is profitable on camera, but managing it off-screen is a brutal logistical challenge. Goldy found himself managing an empire of young creators who had become millionaires seemingly overnight. Every day involved navigating competing interests, resolving internal conflicts, and maintaining a sense of discipline. He had to enforce order without stripping away the raw authenticity that made these creators popular in the first place. To secure their futures, he guided their brands away from just gamers, diversifying a single gaming spike into multiple revenue streams, like fashion and brand deals. Goldy stepped in as a buffer, absorbing business pressures so creators wouldn't burn out. Gathering talent was only the first step. His true value was serving as the human shield, providing the stability necessary for fragile internet fame to mature into lasting success. The results of this strategy are highly visible today. S8UL has secured mainstream brand partnerships that were previously outside the gaming sphere, and they have won major international esports awards against top-tier global organizations. The stability of this business model began to erode the stigma surrounding the hobby. As gaming evolved into a standard corporate structure with steady salaries and legal contracts, the traditional middle-class argument against it as a dead end became harder to maintain. The ecosystem he helped build eventually reached the highest levels of national policy, with the government stepping in to officially recognize and regulate the space through the Online Gaming Bill. It highlights a consistent reality within the creator economy. The loudest voice in the room is rarely the one doing the heavy lifting to build the foundation. While the athletes on stage lifted the trophies and won the fans' hearts, they were standing on a stage that Goldy built. The architect secured his place as a permanent foundational pillar of Indian digital culture.